So explain to me your side of this.
Ghosts are clearly not real.
Why?
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 Because there's zero scientific evidence.
But people have seen it.
I have seen one,
at my grandma's house.
Your minds can play tricks on you, okay? You can see things that aren't really there. It happens all the time.
Of course, you can see things in your blind spot too, but
Right.
But,
so that's not scientific evidence.
If there's people that can go up to strangers and say, "Hey, do you have a brother that died in a car accident?" And
no, there's not. No, there's not. They're frauds. They're frauds.
Why?
How can they just guess that?
Because they're not guessing it. It's not true. It's an act.
What's a cold reading? This guy says cold reading.
That's what you guys are talking about. You guys are talking about cold reading. Those people are total frauds. It's a joke.
Even if it's not on TV, people do it when they're not on TV. Why?
It's because people pay them to have it done.
Why would they pay them for something that isn't real?
Because people believe in it and they're foolish and they want to hear things.
But even if they don't have it recorded on TV or anything like that. What's this mean? 60.
What?
Sorry, I was talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
If people get this stuff read for fun and just want to know if anybody from the other side is talking to them, and they say, "Do you have a brother that was killed in a car accident?" And they say, "Yeah." And they say, "What's his name?" Jack. And they say, "Yeah."
But that's not how they do it. That's not how they do it.
Well, it can be.
Not always.
No, it's not. It's never happened that way ever. What they do is they say because I've seen these people do what they do, and it's a joke. They go in and they say, "Well, I feel a name coming on. I feel did you know a John or a Jeff?" And the person will go, "Oh, Jack." People want to hear. That's exactly what happens. They hear what they want to hear. It's not real. It's make believe. It's silly. It's ridiculous.
What about the people that have caught recordings of it?
Got recordings of what?
A ghost?
There isn't any. There aren't any.
But there are.
No, there's not. There's wisps of smoke, and there's lights flickering, and there's, dust. But there's no real pictures of anything.
But what about, explain orbs then?
What are orbs?
Orbs? It's a camera. Cameras are pretty faulty. They could pick up bits of light in the air and make it look bigger than it is. I mean, you don't believe everything. Do you believe everything you see taken in a picture?
Of course not, because there's Photoshop.
But if it's
forget Photoshop. Even without Photoshop, have you ever taken a picture of somebody and their eyes come out bright red? Nobody's eyes are bright red.
Right, but if there's no light in a picture, there's not going to be light. If there's no light in a room and you take a picture of it, there's not going to be light in the picture.
No, there's light in every room. You just can't see it. Our eyes can't perceive it, but there's still light there. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Go on this side and yield and turn left. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
I just believe that. So, okay, here's a story.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma's house. Her husband died in 2011, and his brother died in that house in 98 or something like that. He had a heart attack, and my dad found him a day later.
Okay.
And so he used to smoke cigarettes. Nobody else in that house smoked cigarettes. And he used to wear Old Spice cologne. Nobody else wears Old Spice cologne. Since my grandpa has died, nobody in that house has bought Old Spice cologne or worn Old Spice cologne or smoked cigarettes. Nobody smokes cigarettes. So every once in a while, you'll get the smell of cigarette smoke and you'll get the smell of old cologne. Now, one time, his name is Victor, the one that died. He wore light blue jeans, and she doesn't know about this. She did not know anything about this, and she saw a man walk past a hallway where he died. She saw him walk past the hallway to sit down to close to where he died, to walk to where he died. And I said, what kind of jeans are you wearing? And she said, light blue jeans.
Didn't know that he ever wore light blue jeans.
She didn't know that anybody died in that house.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, and there was nobody else in the house. What is that?
What is that?
Yeah, why did she?
It's your imagination.
It's not though.
Imagine.
It's just
it is though. It is.
Saw it though.
What?
She saw it.
No, she thinks she saw it, but she didn't see anything because there's nothing there.
But some people have this thing where they can see other things, like they can see what.
No, they don't.
Is there proof that you can?
Yeah, where is this?
Yes, because they've done studies. They've done studies on these so-called mediums and people that could, see ghosts and whatnot. They've read their brain waves when they claim to be communicating with these ghosts and whatnot, and it always shows that their brain does nothing different than any other person when they're thinking in this way. It's not anything special. There's nothing different about them. They're just a person who has an imagination. Exactly. There you go. See what he just wrote? The James Randi Educational Foundation $1 million prize. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Never heard of it.
Okay. There is a guy. His name's James Randi. He put out a challenge to anyone who claims to be psychic or be able to see ghosts or talk with the dead or anything like that. And anyone that can prove it, that they can do it scientifically, he would give them $1 million right there on the spot. And thousands of people have tried, and no one's ever proven it scientifically because it's not true. It's make-believe.
Or
it's just
has said anything because they don't know about it. Who the hell is James Randi? Nobody knows it.
Everybody, listen, a lot of people know about it. A lot of people know about it. He was on TV in the 70s. He was debunking these people all over the place.
Okay.
Because it's fake. It's not real.
Okay, that's fair. The fact that nobody has seen anything, that's fair to believe, but I just feel like there's not the right person watching or they don't want to.
Well, wait a minute. Your friend says she saw a ghost.
Yep.
And she can see ghosts. So she should go to this guy and definitely prove it somehow. See a ghost and prove it.
So where do we go? There's no on how to get to this person.
Yes, look him up on the internet. You could find him in a minute. You'll find him in a minute. You'll get your $1 million because you can't do it.
That's probably
it's make believe.
Ghosts. Wait,
What's that?
I have a question. So if you don't believe in ghosts, do you think there's an afterlife?
I don't know, but that one doesn't have to be tied to the other.
Are you agnostic?
Yeah, I'm agnostic.
Fair enough. It just means that you don't believe in anything.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's not sure.
That's okay. So that's okay. I don't even know.
What I do know for sure is that when you die, you don't technically escape death in some non-physical form and float around haunting places you used to live and trying to talk to people who you used to, be next to in life, because it's beyond ridiculous to imagine a world where no one ever really goes away. You just kind of float around forever. It's silly. You know how many ghosts there would be? You know how many people have lived on this earth and died well before we were ever alive? There would be billions of ghosts everywhere.
Right.
You'd be seeing them all over the place.
But a lot of times there's these people who pass through. They go to somewhere that we don't know. Like the stories on the news. The 5 people you meet in heaven, or what's that movie? Heaven is real. Heaven is real. That's a true story. This actually happened.
I don't care what that's a child in his imagination. He could say whatever he wants. It doesn't make it real. It doesn't make it real. A child's imagination is wild. Don't you remember the stuff you came up with when you were a kid?
Well, I, for one, always used to smell cigarette smoke in my grandma's house. So.
Right, but you imagined it.
But I didn't know anybody smoked in that house. Why would you smell cigarette? Imagine it.
Exactly.
Listen. I'm trying to explain to you. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. It probably is comforting in some way to think that they're still around, that they still want to communicate with you. But in reality, it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. It's not a realistic thing. It makes no sense.
So what do you think is die?
What's that?
Personally, like to you, in your heart, what do you think is going to happen to you when you pass away?
Well, I think there's a few more likely options than ghost, and I think one of the big ones would be some form of a reincarnation, where you come back as something else. Because if you follow the laws of science, energy can't be created or destroyed, and basically we are energy. That's what makes us human beings. So I think if energy can't be created or destroyed, it has to be somehow recycled into something else when you die. But if not that, I mean, it's every bit as likely that it's just lights out and that's the end of that, and you don't, there is nothing afterwards.
Right? You're not just gonna go into a